Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Well, I heard myself because I forgot to mute things, so I assume y'all can hear me. How many people are out there? Say hi. Can you all hear me? Check. 1, 2. Hello. Awesome. So yeah, I guess we'll get started. I'm back for a little bit. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash this time. Today I'm playing Dimir Alchemy. I think it's one of the... Thanks, Mike. I think it's one of the better decks right now. I've been doing a lot of meta collection for the challenges, and Dimir Alchemy is one of the better decks that's seen play. Not going to scoop myself too much, but it's one of the better decks that has performed in the challenges, that has at least 5 appearances across the 7 top 32 so far. Now, granted, it doesn't have nearly as many as a deck like Izzet Delver, which has almost 40, or Affinity, which has 30, but it's up there. I think it's around 12 appearances in the top 32s. A lot of top 8s, which has been really impressive. Now, that being said, I've tried this deck before. I haven't had so much success, but Mike from Color Commentary, who's hanging out with us today, swears by it, and I trust him, so he's going to help me learn how to play this deck a little bit while we go. Isn't that right, Mike? Sorry, my wife is traveling, so I'm checking my phone. Wives are important. So are husbands. Spouses matter. So, I made one small change from the list that just recently made top 8, and I'll get to that in a second. First, we got 22 lands, 4 backwater, 3 aqueduct, 7 island, 6 swamps, a sandbar, a moor. But the thing I really like about this is there are no dead lands. There are no Evolving Wilds, there are no Ash Barrens, and because you're kind of this mid-range control deck, a lot like a Legacy deck almost, and by Legacy deck I don't mean, oh look how powerful we are, but you're like a Thought Scour deck in Modern, where you're trying to gain incremental value from the graveyard. And so I really like this. Flipping over Angler is just great. I like the mana base. I think it could probably use a little, hopefully another land, but I understand 22. I'll get to the change I made in a second, but 3 Disfigure, a Ghastly Demise, 2 Tragic Slip, just solid removal, along with 3 Edict, 2 Echoing Decay, 2 Doomblade, and an Agony Warp. I think that's a good removal mix. 4 Counterspell, 3 Forbidden Alchemy, 3 Muldrifter, 4 Angler, 2 Soul Manipulation. Again, a nice light defensive package without going too heavy that way. Alchemy really does work in finding you key cards. Angler's a great threat. Muldrifter just draws you a ton. The thing that set this deck apart from the old version is 4 Augur of Bolas. That's just so much better than Seagate Oracle in this deck. And the one change from the list that went in the top 8 is instead of running... what's the card? Instead of running Preordain, I'm running 4 copies of Ponder. And the reason why is Augur of Bolas, actually. Augur is great, but... Wow, Mike, that's such a Reddit thing to say. Augur is great, but sometimes you're bottoming cards you want in the late game. Preordain doesn't let you shuffle. And because of that, I wanted a card that granted me the ability to shuffle, and Ponder does that. Now, the other options are things like Warped Landscape, Grixis Panorama, Evolving Wilds, Ash Barrens, but all of those have a real cost attached. Ponder's a very high power card, and the difference between Ponder and Preordain, it matters, and there is a difference, but it's not so wide that I think I'm losing much by replacing Preordain with Ponder in this deck. Sideboard, straight copy. 2 Duress, 2 Hydroblast, 3 Spellstutter Sprite, 2 Stormbound Geist, 2 Nil Spell Bombs, 2 Voldalen Zombies, a Shrivel, and a Nausea. I thought about just going double nausea or double shrivel, but I'd rather make people think that I have extra copies. So, just throw a wrench in the works. So yeah, I'll take this into the league. Chances are I'm going to face the same person a lot because it's a brand new league today. And we'll go from there. So actually, I'm going to take a personal break real quick, and then I will jump in the league. Wow, no one has gone undefeated yet. Oh boy. Okay, sorry about that. Leagues did just start today. Also, what pop puck band don't I know enough to recognize the stream title? Ah, yes, Banner Pilot. The first track off their album, I think it's their third album, Heartbeats Pacific, as in Heart Beats Pacific, as in the Pacific Ocean. First song off the album is called Alchemy. It is a great song. I linked to the YouTube channel. I linked to a YouTube of it. Okay, let's just wait a second, make sure that I save this as Dimir Alchemy and not Dimir Tortured Existence. I always hate when I do this. Dimir Alchemy, yeah, okay. Dimir Alchemy, submit. 80 play points. I am the 91st person in this league. Let's go. What's a walk? A walk to get to the stream title? Come on. Listen, you listen to ridiculous music, Mike. We all know it. How bad is it? I haven't updated it for a while. Let's see. It's pretty bad. Oh, got paired. Let's minimize this. Join the match. Let's hope I don't lose. If I do, I'll just have to start playing mid-range white decks again. Okay, we're on the play. That's good. I think this is a keep. We have 3 of our best cards. We do need a land, but I think this is a keep. So yeah, I'm going to go with this. Mike will tell me in a moment if this is a terrible keep or not. Like, I just think it's too high power with Augur. Ugh. Okay, are we up against Blitz? Turn 1 Swiftwater Eclipse tells me we're up against Blitz. And I think that going for Augur is still the right play here. It's just such a high power play. If it is Blitz, I have a good outcome against it. Oof. Let's take the Disfigure. Because chances are I'm not going to double up on them. And then I'll bottom slip Disfigure and pass the turn. It could be Tron. Hey, CDK. You've done pretty well recently. How you doing? Preordain? Okay, let's see what they do with Preordain. They topped. Bottom. Wilds. So they're almost definitely on Blitz. Oof, that's rough. But I can leave up Counterspell. Buys me some time. Lowering the volume a little bit. Okay, this is great. So now, no matter what, I can Alchemy next turn and get a land, and we're set, basically. Unless they... Brainstorm? Are they Delver? It might be Alchemy time, but I want to see what they do. Are they Puzzle? Are they the... Oh, they're the Grixis list. Okay. Are they Grixis Flicker? What do you mean, oh no? So do I counter this, is the question. I think they are Grixis Flicker. And I don't think I counter this. I think Alchemy's better. I think going for Alchemy is just better here. Like, save my counters for things that matter. Huh. I mean, I need to take the backwater. Yeah, I need to take the backwater. Sucks. Because I'm binning two great cards. But get the backwater. Well, that's great. Just getting into Angler's great. So frankly, I don't know what the Grixis Flicker deck is doing. I think it's just very greedy. They top-bottomed. Do I counter this and then slam Angler is the question. It's Flicker plus red removal, and I think I counter this? No, I don't. I want to save my counter. It's good, but this at least gives me information. Brainstorm. No, I think the right call is holding off. I think I play this land. So here's the question, Mike. Do I delve away the Alchemy? I'm multiple turns away from casting it. Yeah, I delve away Alchemy. That's not even a question. No. So what, I just hold this up? Don't go for it? Okay, I'll wait a turn. I think I can afford to wait a turn. Edict. Yeah, I think you're right. I think an edict would have been better. I'm still learning this. Do I edict here? I think I edict here and then leave up alchemy again. Or do I Mulldrifter? God, I'm so bad at control decks. I know they have Brainstorm. This way I leave up counter, I get to try and establish a threat. Huh. Okay. I'm not fast enough, apparently. That's brutal. I should have edicted. Opponent is on Flame Slash, but they also run a Terminate. That's important to remember. Okay, they have 2 Brainstorms in hand, which seems kind of terrible, actually. I'm not playing this well. Okay, they're casting a Brainstorm. I have misplayed this game somehow. That much I know. I'm going to counter this. If only to get their counter out of the hand so I can stick Mulldrifter. Because they almost definitely have a counter spell. Because what 3-color deck doesn't run counter spell? Yep. And now we see one of the problems with the deck is how it draws its land. I'm a little low on land, but I'm not that far behind. Oof. That's brutal. That is brutal. I think the plan here is to pitch Decay. Because it's the most expensive card in my hand. Or most expensive removal spell. Yep, here comes the Flame Slash. I mean, I'm still in fine shape. They haven't done anything to actually win. I have tons of life. And they whiffed on Augur, which is good. Sure, I'll try to... Where's the play? Alchemy. I think the play's actually Alchemy. Try to find a land. Think the land's actually Aqueduct here, because I'm not going to be casting multiple things this turn, and I want the mana. So let me do this. I'm going to go shields down for a second. Now this was risky because it puts me shields down where they can like just stick everything, but I'm not too worried. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay, Houston, we have a problem. I mean, I'm scared if they can get the lock going, but that's a ways away. So I think the play here is just Augur. Yeah. think I take Ponder. Ponder. Well, that's a great thing to see. I am not going to shuffle this. I think we are actually pretty well set up. So what I can do is I can actually disfigure the Archaeomancer when they go to flicker it. If they have a counter, I can disfigure again and still have counterspell mana up, which seems really quite excellent. Do I go for a disfigure here or no? I think I actually have to go for Edict here, just to get a card out of my hand. Yeah, go for Edict. Like, I'm still at a high... They don't run Lightning Bolt, right? This deck? Okay, now I think we're in pretty good shape. Although, I have to believe they have Reaping the Graves in hand, with the fact that the Storm Count's showing up. Sure. Sure. I should have counted the flicker, you're right. What are they doing with this? Top, sure. I think the play here is to evoke Muldrifter. They got... What did they get back? Counterspell. They got back Counterspell, so I'm actually just going to go for Augur here. That's a good card. Okay, so I know they have Counterspell in hand. My goal needs to be to resolve Angler and stick it soon. Okay, so I don't know what they have in hand, but now I have Angler, Alchemy, Manipulation to their blanks. Let's hope they whiff. How many counters have they spent? They've spent 3 counterspells. Sure. I think I have both their Mancers. It's really right now about making sure I can stop that Muldrifter. So let's... get this down. I mean, I've also spent 3 counter spells, which isn't great. I'm actually going to cycle this to try and get to another piece of business. That's awesome. Oh, okay. They're trying to burn me out. Okay, so they have a Firebolt in the graveyard, and that's it. I can actually do this because they know the card in hand. Okay, so if they draw Lightning Bolt, I'm dead. If they draw Firebolt, I'm dead. Wow, what a rip. What a frickin' rip. You gotta be kidding me. That was a BS way to lose. I definitely made a mistake there somewhere. Okay. How the heck do I sideboard this? Do I sideboard this? How would you guys sideboard this? So, I actually think Spellstarter Sprite is remarkably relevant here. Like, I think these 7 are the relevant cards. Yeah, Geist is for sure. I think Echoing Decay's pretty bad here, because the only 2 toughness creatures they have are Muldrifter. And I have my own Muldrifters. I don't think I want Spellbomb. I think that's kind of greedy. So I want to bring in these 5. But what are the cuts? Like, these 2 are definitely coming in. But what do I make room for these 3? Yeah, I can see cutting Agony Warp. I want all my 1 mana removal. Is it an Edict? Really, 1 Soul Manip? I mean, you've played this deck more than I have. I'll trust you on this. Do I cut a Ponder? I think that's the worst card left, unless it's an Edict. It's Edict or Ponder. Sugar. Okay, I'm gonna leave an Agony Warp, cut an Edict, cut a Ponder. All their removals 1 mana. We're going to try this. It's a slow clock, but they're not exactly fast. I think I keep this. 2 removal spells, a Cycle Land, and a Ponder. Though this hand may not be proactive enough. Oh, got a lot better there. Okay, they brought in a dead card, which is fine by me. Slip is actually better here because I have other removal. Preordain, sure. Wow, I'm way behind on the clock. Didn't realize how far behind on the clock I was. So I'm going to actually have to speed this up. They preordain bottom. Bottom? Sure. So I'm spending Doomblade here because I just want to start getting in damage right now. Part of that's because my clock is so low. But I also want to maintain a board advantage right now, and they don't really have much of anything. Like, their hand right now is incredibly slow. And my hand is incredibly aggressive. Well, that's weirdly great. Do I try to stick Geist here? No, I can't really. I need them to do something first, which is really unfortunate. If I can get to another island, I'm in much better shape to stick Geist. But because they're not really doing anything, they're casting Brainstorm. Yeah, I need to stick Geist is the thing. And are they going to discard here instead of trying to run something out? That seems like an error. Relic can snag it, that is true. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to discard Demise because it's going to be relatively useless this game. Sorry, Wilfredo. It was an aggressive play, I will agree there. This is pretty good, actually. I like mana. And I can stack it so I can go mana, augur, mana. I don't want to shuffle. Okay. Like, you're just going to remove that could kill it and they have a full hand. That's fair. That's fair. Let's be realistic, John. I'm not exactly the best at playing this deck. And I'm learning on the go, which has been a little problematic, all things... Ugh. I walked right into that horror. This has been really terrible for me. I have played this poorly. I apologize. See if they counter this. They don't. Interesting. Might not be dead yet. Okay. I mean, if they just go flicker whatever, I'm totally hosed. Like, Archaeomancer flicker really puts a crimp in my plans. And I'm so far behind on time somehow. Can they flicker twice? Pyroblast, interesting. Ugh. Actually, it's not the worst for me, because I have Sprite. I'm holding the land back so I can discard it to Angler, which I'm sure will happen. But this just stinks. So, did I just punt this match, guys? Tell me. Or is this just one of the unwinnable things, like they just outvalued me at every step of the way? Yeah, you're right. I definitely punted somewhere here. I'm just gonna scoop this. There's no point in playing this out. I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some water up to boil for dinner, and I'll be back in a minute. Ah, that was annoying. God, that took so long, too. Well, not getting the first trophy of this. Be right back. Yeah, what I did was I made a bunch of mistakes that game. Mostly what I did was I was too quick to pull a trigger with my counters instead of using my removal, and I didn't play the control as well as I should have. Yes, Aaron, I was doing it all for you. Always for you. How are you doing? So yeah, I think the things I learned from that game were really to save my counters. They're precious. I am a hussy, actually. Not a harlot, a hussy. Save my counters for things that really matter. Use my removal otherwise. Oh, come on! Same guy? Ugh. That's annoying. Well, I have to mulligan this hand. So let's see if I learned anything. And I'm going to bottom this. You're right, Aaron. Same guy or girl. I should have been better. My apologies. Okay. Let's run out Augur. Let's see what we got here. Edict's not great, but it's fine. Depending on what I draw, I may have to evoke Drifter next turn. Okay, so evoking Drifter tells me they don't have a ton of gas. But I'm about to do the same thing, so I don't have a ton of gas either. Difference is, I have a creature on the board. And my 4th land drop. Yeah, I actually don't have islands I like, which is unfortunate. One, two, three, four, five. No, I can't tap out to try and slam Angler yet. What do you mean broken? Oh, okay. That's quite a possibility. I will try to fix it after this game, or after the match. Okay, I will fix that. My life is in omni-shambles, Aaron. You know it is. So I think the play here is to just try and stick Angler with counter backup. Is it? No, I don't have to do anything. Don't act. I don't have to act until next turn, so I might as well not. Aaron, you've never heard the term omni-shambles? So actually, do I just discard Decay here? I think discarding Decay is actually better than trying to run out Angler. Oh, it's a great term. I use it all the time at work. So, since this is the same matchup, how should we sideboard this time? Yeah, that's fine. I am going to demise this. Oh, really? Oh, that is so annoying. Well, actually, that's not the worst thing in the world, because they tapped out. So I can demise one. Agony Warp the other. And then stick Angler. I think I actually have to counter this. Are they just gonna go for frickin'... Really? Aw, oh, man. Frickin' hell. Like this. Okay, Preordain. This just really seems like a nightmare matchup. Like, I'm not gaining any kind of advantage. Like, I don't know how I win this matchup. I can't outgrind them. Excuse me. Thought I was going to sneeze. Top. Muldrifter. So here's a question. Is bringing in Spellbomb the right play? Yeah, I mean, it's also because they have Reaping the Graves. I'm more annoyed because I'm playing the same opponent twice in a row. And it was such a miserable matchup the first time around. Like, they hit all their advantage creatures. I hit... None of this matters because they have Reaping the Graves. Yep, just cast it again. At least they whiffed. Yep, how many copies do you get? 4 copies. They get back 2 horror. And I'm just going to lose this game. Yeah, horror. Huh. At least they're done with that. Yeah, I'm actually just going to scoop here because I really do not feel like playing this out, and I'd rather just save time. That's annoying. Okay. So, discard Lightning Bolt. How nice. Geist is definitely good here. I think Spell Bomb is actually better than Sprite. So Demise is a dead card. Decay is a dead card. I want the manipulations because they are going to matter. That's without a doubt they're going to matter. I think I couldn't... Yeah, I'm bringing in Spell Bomb. I think the cut is actually an Edict, because they seem very slow in this matchup, and like I never actually get to resolve them. Let's try this. I'll be right back because it sounds like the water is boiling over. You're right, Disfigure is awkward. If I didn't just submit, I will change it. But I just submit, so I can't change it. But this hand is great. So I'll actually be right back. Sorry about that. I'm also making dinner. Yes, Disfigure is awkward. I think next time I cut it for sprites. See, this is exactly the situation where I like Ponder, because it lets me shuffle those Mulldrifters back into my library rather than keep them at the bottom. Flicker, okay. My plan here is to Alchemy at the end of their turn and try to hit something. If I trade... Edict, fine. I think the play is actually just take Spell Bomb. I think it's the best card here. Let's Ponder. I like this. This at the very least... They didn't fetch, which seems like a mistake. What priority stops do you think I should remove? These are the ones I'm most comfortable with. John, which ones do you think I should pitch? One, two, three, four, five, six. I mean, part of the problem is I am behind on time, which is a negative. Why are they not activating Brainstorm? I don't understand this. Or using Wilds. They're trying to get max value out of it? Okay, that's their second Brainstorm here. Okay, I should not be attacking. I'll take him off. That's a good point. I'm usually playing aggressive deck, so this tells me they have Firebolt. Do they not have Firebolt? So let's see, what should I kill here? Well, that's good to see. I'm fine with that. My goal is to be attacking right now anyway. Be right back, gotta drain my pasta. That's not a euphemism, Aaron. They're casting Preordain for... They did Preordain bottom top, sure. I don't want to go 2 shields down, so I'm just going to front cast the alchemy here. I think Counterspell is just more important than the last alchemy. Yeah. They're more than welcome to do that. I know... Okay, so now they're on the defensive a little bit, which is good for me. I mean, my goal here is to resolve Stormbound Geist. How many counters have they burned? None? Jeez, this is going to be brutal. And what are they doing with this Preordain? Bottom, bottom. Okay, time to pull a trigger on that. Okay. Interesting. Let's draw a card. Not a card I wanted to see, really, but still a card. That's a card, too. Okay, I'm very confused as to their game plan here. But... keep messing up my stops. Okay, have to counter this. That was probably a mistake. What are they getting back here? Counterspell? Sure. This is the worst, because they almost definitely have Flicker, but I'm actually digging for something now. And land. Well, this was annoying. I don't know if I misplayed this one. Probably did. I definitely mis-sideboarded. Yeah, no, it's just game. Yep, I'm... Okay, you know what? I know you have an Edict in hand. You have 8 points of damage on board, and you almost assuredly have a burn spell in hand, so why not just kill me? Like, attack. You don't need to actually do that. Like, you had an Edict in hand. So that's 0-4 to this person. That's obnoxious. Let's see if I can play someone else. Okay, someone that isn't Grixis Flicker for sure. I keep this hand. It looks pretty good. I just need a land for it to be great. Okay, green. Hexproof. Ugh. Okay. So now I actually am going to keep combat on, I think. Because this is no longer a control mirror. And all my targeted removal looks terrible. Okay. Sure. Okay, well, I'm relying on this alchemy to win me the game, basically. I have 3 main, no side. Oh, man. Okay. All right, we found it. Sweet. Well, we hit. Now I just have to fade another threat for a couple turns. Fade, fade, fade. Russer, russer. Oh, sweet. I can kill that. I am not going to get greedy. I am just going to outright just Doomblade this. So I'm doing this so next turn I can evoke Drifter and Soul Manipulation if I have to. I'm doing well. How are you? Well, not great. I'm 0-2 right now. Lost the same deck twice on the same player. By the way, for those of you who don't know, you can actually subscribe to my channel now, which is pretty neat. It's nifty. I'm actually okay with that. What I can do next turn is evoke Drifter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land Grant revealing Yavimaya Enchantress. So this is a weird build of Hexproof. So what I can do here is evoke Drifter. And then slip this. Yavimaya Enchantress is not as scary. It's scary, don't get me wrong, but I can afford to take a hit from it. Potentially. Yeah? It's only a 5/5. So I actually have to do this way. I know I have Edict in the graveyard, but I want to save Edict for a hexproof creature. I'm pretty sure I can take this hit here. Like, I highly, highly doubt they can go multiple creatures this turn. But I'm pretty sure I can take this hit. Yeah. Evoke again. Slip. And now it's just about finding a threat. One moment. So how do you think we side here? This game is over. Be nice if I faced this one earlier. Oh, they knew it too. Okay, sideboarding. These seem good. These seem good. And the sprites also seem good. Decay seems... So, Agony Warp and Echoing Decay seem kind of bad. Disfigure also seems bad, only because they're on a pretty interesting sideboard plan. So bring these in. I think I can afford to cut Demise? Might be Slip, actually. I think it's Slip. Yeah, let's do this. Gonna take a quick break for a personal privilege, and hopefully we'll come back and win. How's the hand? Ooh. One land ponder. I'm going to keep on the draw. Excuse me. I don't even need to play for a black source. I just need to hit on ponder, which is... So what do they do? They scry top or bottom? They scryed bottom. Okay. Ask and ye shall receive. Yeah, that's actually great. So we're going to stack it Slip, Ponder, Sprite. Because what I want to do is actually counter something with Sprite and then Ponder into gas, hopefully. It's fine. Sure. Let's ruin their day. Like, it's possible I should have waited on that, but because I am on a land light draw, I really... And because they mulliganed, it's actually fine. Let's ponder. This is actually kind of great. That's exactly what I want to see. So, Aqueduct on the bottom, then Backwater, and top with Island. This is that's actually perfect. Like, taking a hit of 3 is not bad at all. Okay, now things are starting to look worse. But that's still only 6. I'm still not worried, is what it comes down to. Because worst case scenario, I can alchemy here into Angler next turn and be fine. Or I could just do this. We can do that too. And we may actually end up doing that. We might chump anyway, so I can get value out of soul manipulation. Ugh. Yeah, that's fine. One, two, three, four. No, I actually think that the play here is actually hold up manipulation, so that way if they do go for an aura, I can get back Sprite and block. Like, there's only a few auras that really punish me here. That's one of them. That's still only 7. I might have punted this game. Might have punted. One, two. Probably should have. Oof. That's brutal. I think I punted this game. I mean, I'm basically just fading the top of their deck at this point. That's actually fine. That's still fine. That's still great, actually. Just making sure it doesn't have trample. It doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's great for me. Don't screw this up. Yep, okay. One to the good. Finally. Okay, let me check on my pasta and then I'll be right back. Okay. We won. Let's see if we can win 2 in a row. So I think going back to those Grixis Flicker matchups, the real problem was that they just outcarded me every time. And there's nothing I could really done about that. You know, we're really good at trading 1-for-1, but they are full of 2-for-1s. So I think that was just a nightmare-style matchup. No, they were on Grixis Flicker. Okay, can somebody tell me how many viewers there are? I'm only seeing like 3 people. Oh, there we go. This name looks familiar. This is a pretty decent hand. Double Ponder, double Island, and they're mulliganing to... Okay, so they're either on Hex or... I think I need to shuffle this, actually. Slivers? Okay, thank you. Huh. Slivers is going to be tough. So I'm actually pondering here for a black land that comes into play untapped, which I did not find. That was actually great. Plated silver is fine. My life total is still relatively high. Well, the good news is I have tons of gas, and I can counter any of their combat tricks, which is really what's going to matter here. And then next turn I can start flashing back alchemy. Good for me. And I think I just established control of this game. Reach is fine. It's big, but fine. I mean, I'm not complaining about triple Mulldrifter. That's going to come in handy for sure. So I think next turn I actually have to start attacking with my anglers. I don't know how they win this game, actually. Really don't know how they win this game. I mean, it's possible they're running Sigil Blessing. I mean, I have been known to make huge misclicks. That is not outside of my range. I could deck myself too. But I think I just kill their spinnerets next turn and win the game. I have 6 power in the air. And I think they just Shatterpaw scooped. Okay, so how do I sideboard here? What do they bring in? I think these are good. I think. But I don't know what's bad. Disfigure's kind of bad. Stormbound Geist is kind of okay. Shrivel and Nausea are terrible. Edict is only alright. I think I take out the 2 Edicts for the 2 zombies, actually. I think actually this way. So what do I put in for these? I like my counters. Maybe a Mole Drifter? Let's try this. Hand seems fine. Lots of removal. Little slow, but lots of removal. You're right, HJC. Oh, okay. Pro and baseball in the background, but they're in a rain delay, so I will be right back. Yeah, I actually think next turn I just alchemy. Yeah. Be right back. That's fine. I can take the hit here. Yeah, this actually seems great. I take the Demise, kill their things. I mean, if they have vines, that's pretty bad, but... Okay, that's fine. Still get to do this. I mean, they're not really killing me yet. At a healthy life total. Get to do that. I mean, the game's not sealed yet. We're close to it. Very close to it. Okay. 2 and 2. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Let's see if I can battle back and win back my entry fee. And go up a little bit. Ha! HAC, you were right. Funk Doctor won the die roll. Hand seems great. Ponder really lets you keep a lot of borderline hands, more than I think Preordained does. Okay, they have a borderline hand too. But they kept it. Okay. So let's ponder. I'm gonna keep this. Gives me one of my best cards next turn in Augur. Yeah, I would have kept it with Preordained too. By the way, like I said, I'm an affiliate, so you can cheer for me. Also, now you can sub to an affiliate, so if you feel so inclined, it'd be awesome. Okay, so they're on blue-red something. Now, if they're on Grixis Flicker, again, I'm just not going to be a happy camper. But they could be on Blitz. Keeping like that, taking their time, they might be on Blitz. Really? Another frickin' Flicker deck? I mean, we'll know in a second with what they fetch. They fetch a Swamp. Oh, come on! 3 times? Three times I faced this frickin' Flicker deck. Maybe this time I'll actually be able to, you know, get a win out of it. It's Alchemy. The best card here is actually the land. I don't hate Flicker, I just hate this matchup. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. With the counterspell backup, I actually don't hate this. Okay, so they might actually be the Grixis control deck, not the Flicker deck. Main deck Dispel? You gotta be kidding me with this. Okay. So they're actually not the Flicker deck. They're the Grixis control deck with Curse of the Bloody Tomb. Did they miss a land drop? Nope, they're the Grixis control deck with Curse. Okay. They are low on lands. I am in an okay position. The problem is I have 4 dead cards in hand. The frog? What frog? Do you mean the zombie fish? Yeah, this is going to be tough, but I think it gets better for us after sideboard because I get access to... I get to side up my removal, basically. And their teachings for what? I'm really sticking the turn 3 or turn... They run 2 curse, so them getting it early was kind of lucky on their part. But I get to side out all my removal, basically. Bring in Duress. Bring in the Geists. You're probably right. I need to find it, and fast. It does make my clock faster. Well, that is every one of my anglers. So now I'm just on... riding these to the victory. I have 7 turns. They have 9 turns. So this is actually... They are going to win this. Yeah, it's going to be tough for me to win from here. Yeah, I have 8 turns. They have like 6. Things are looking up. I should do this during their upkeep? I should do it now. Okay. Do they have another Terminate? I mean, gotta go for it. Maybe I'm lucky? If I can untap, I feel like I'm in a great position. If I can untap with Angler in play. Ugh! Okay. If they have deep analysis here, I'm just dead. Okay. They have to not have capsize. Come on. Whiff. Like, any removal spell and I'm just dead here. What did they just do? They teachings for... What did they just do? They whispered. Okay. No, they got me. They didn't whisper me, they whispered themselves. I mean, sure. They managed to see both their win conditions in the top 30 cards. Sure. Yep, they got us. However, I feel like games 2 and 3, I'm advantaged. Like, I can just bring these in. And these. And cut a whole bunch of dead cards. I'm actually going to leave in the slips and the edicts because they do sometimes bring in anglers. Okay, that's fair. Spell bombs for slips seems right. Yeah, I'm leaving an edicts for that reason. Okay, 61. This is fine. Let's keep it. I'm not going to be countering anything early anyway. So I'm just going to stick Spell Bomb. Sure. Go even lower. Actually, no. I'm going to play Backwater first, because the goal here is to... Sugar. I meant to bring in the blasts. Did I bring in the blasts? Yeah, that's fine. I don't like it, but I'm not under a ton of pressure right now. Sure. Let's ponder. This seems pretty good. They're not going to be pressuring my life total a lot, so I think I can just ride it out as I draw lands here. I played the Sandbar because you want as many lands as possible in a control mirror. I have a 3-minute advantage on the clock, which does matter. Just running into 3 Grixis deck, that's just really annoying. Okay. And that's one of your win conditions gone. Spellstarter Sprite gets the job done. No, Curse is a terrible win condition. Now I've effectively had their win conditions. I get to slam Drifter. They're still stuck on 4 mana. I have an abundance. I think they misclicked. You know what? I will take it. So what I'm actually going to do is play another one of these. Play a swamp. And just start attacking. Yeah, it was the best Flame Slash I ever cast this match. Pretty good. So I'm lagging a little bit, which is bad. They have a counterspell, sure. This deck doesn't run Lightning Bolt, right? Ah, Ponder, you are so good. How come more people don't run you? Oh, this is just glorious. Okay. I've not seen too many of these lists, and I didn't see any bolts last game. Oh, man. Okay. I think I alchemy. No, I don't. I don't want to alchemy if I can't have counter backup. Oh, this is the most beautiful hand. I hope all my luck isn't used up this game. So I get to alchemy this turn, for sure. I think I actually counter this. I think it's worth countering. Because then if they want to do anything, they have to burn their counter. And I can force him to take Alchemy, which I could then just flash back. Sure. Like, if they take Alchemy, that's not the worst thing in the world for me. Because I just get to flash it back next turn, potentially. Okay, so I've burned through 3 counterspells, which is actually pretty bad. But I think next turn I can just slam Angler and be alright. Geist is pretty good here. So I think I actually lead with Angler and then follow up with Geist. My opponent's disconnected, so I'm going to take a personal privilege break and be right back. Yeah, it is relevant that they've lost connection. It's unfortunate. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Winning by timeout isn't fun for anyone. But it's one of the risks of running a deck like this. It takes forever to win. And the Moto clock is a real thing. Like, I don't like running... I'm leaving this up just so we can talk. I don't like running decks that have some just incredibly exploitable inherent weakness. You know, actually something that really... So, I don't want to scoop myself too much, but I did a lot of math on the challenges. And for those of you who follow me, I do something called a Karsten score. And what a Karsten score is, it takes some of Frank Karsten's math that assigns 1 point per win and deducts a point for a loss. So... For example, Blue-Red Delver in the last challenge went 7-0. So it got 7 points for that. But then it lost in the quarterfinals, so lost a point, 6 points. That's just one version of the deck. I did this for a lot of decks. Every deck that has been featured in the top 32 of a challenge. And what I did was I took the average of how many points, Karsten points there were. And really, when you look at the average, it's a very narrow range. With 7 appearances, the highest scoring deck is Boros Monarch with 4. So it basically averages like 4 wins more than it loses, which is kind of impressive. That usually means it averages like a semifinals appearance when it shows up. It's kind of great. I need to double check my math on that. The second most popular deck in the challenges was Affinity, with, I want to say, like 30 appearances. But it has an abysmal rating, 1.6 average Karsten points, which means it does somewhere between 4-3 and 5-2 on average. And that's, I think, because it's so easy to hate out the deck. And so a deck like this, it has a natural weakness. I mean, I don't know how they're going to win this match with 6.5 minutes left. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Winning by the clock isn't fun to watch, but I'm not going to stop streaming, so ask me anything. Well, almost anything. Hi, viewers. I'm so sorry. Oh, Patrick J, Stompy Champion. So what did we learn today? This deck's pretty good. It struggles with decks that are really good at going 2-for-1, but decks that try to 1-for-1, Ulcerate. I would add Ulcerate to Pauper. Alternatively, I'd add Forked Bolt to Online Pauper. But I think Ulcerate is a great card, and I would love to see it in Online Pauper. For those of you who don't know, Ulcerate is black for an instant. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. You lose 3 life. Think it's great. Yeah, so all 3 of my matches against Grixis were boring. One way or the other. Ooh, if I had to ban a card. See, I think the format's incredibly healthy right now. If I had to ban a card, it would be Ponder or Preordain. I think those cards are just so far and above the power level of the rest of the format, and they give the best color thank you very much. They give the best color just such an advantage that the other colors don't have. But again, I wouldn't ban anything right now. I think the format's really great. I think it's really diverse, and we're seeing a lot of fun things. But if you forced me to ban a card, it would be Ponder or Preordain. I think those cards are just so powerful. But like I said, I don't think anything needs to be banned. And selfishly, if I could add any card to Pauper, it would be Reanimate. I don't think that card is good for a common, but I really would love to see Reanimate as a common so I could play Reanimator more reasonably. More likely, though, is that we'd see Zombify or something shifted to common in Iconic Masters. Since that set is supposed to be based around giant monsters, having Zombify at a common might be okay, but I don't know. I also highly doubt that will be the case. With that in mind, I'd love to see Breath of Life and False Defeat, the white Zombifies, on Breath of Life, Zombify, False Defeat, all shifted down. I think those are great. Ooh, Animate Dead. Here's the problem with Animate Dead. It has so much rules text. And I mean that. Like, it's intuitively a great card. Like, for commons, you take a creature and it becomes a zombie, basically. It comes back. It's a little less weak. Um, it's a little weaker, rather. But all that rules text, it's too much rules text for a common. Now, if there was a way to clean it up, so hypothetical card here. Black, black. Choose target creature in your graveyard, put it into play with a -1/-1 counter on it. That card is a zombie in addition to its other creature types. I think that's a fixed version of Animate Dead, personally. No, I'm not going to play Peasant anytime soon. I like Pauper too much. Well, I think it's safe to say I'm going 3-2 in this league. Beat up on the green decks, lost to 2 Grixis decks, beat another Grixis deck. That being said, I think I won this game, regardless of the timeout. And I think that... Oh, my opponent lost the timing out. Got a treasure chest. That's fair. That's fair. Enchant dead creature doesn't work, though. Okay, so what do we learn? I like this deck. It's fine. Let's see what my rating's at now. Mike's gone, so we can't take a look at my awful. 1666. Not bad. So what do we learn? Well, first things first, let's get to Dimir Alchemy. The deck has some holes, clearly. No, I'm not going to open the chest. I did open a chest yesterday. and opened Hydroblast, which is kind of funny. But I'd rather get the 2 ticks. What do you guys think? Should I open the chest? Sound off. Should I open the chest? Oh, you want to see the Tortured Existence list? John, you're going to hate me for this. So this is an old... And when I say old, I mean... I put this together years ago. Back... Okay. So this is my blue-black Tortured Existence deck. And I've not played this in anything reasonably in a while. It's okay. But yeah, it's pretty gross. The idea behind it is that, well, blue's just good. Forbidden Alchemy was the 5th copy of Tortured Existence. Sanitarium Skeleton did Sanitarium Skeleton things. Drowner is kind of like a alchemy on legs. Removal on... You have more removal. Yeah, this deck was not great, but I had fun with it. So yeah. So, thank you all for watching. I think Dimir Alchemy is a really good choice moving forward. I think that it's pretty tight in construction. The removal is really where you get to futz. If anything, I'd like to change Counterspell to something a little more flexible. Yes, John. I'm tilting you so much with that Tordex list. Counterspell is great, but I wonder if other things would be better. That being said, I had fun. Thank you all for staying with me through those brutal losses. You can find me twitch.tv/nerdtothecore, twitter.com/nerdtothecore, facebook.com/nerdtothecore. My articles appear every Tuesday on gatheringmagic.com. Please check it out. Please comment. Please find me on the Reddit and comment. I love feedback, even if it's constructive or you don't like what I had to say, you disagree with me. I love to hear from people who watch and view. I'll be uploading this to YouTube shortly. Thank you all again. It means so much to me. If you like me, you can cheer, you can subscribe. Means the world. My wife gets a kick out of the fact that I've now upgraded myself from a D-list Magic celebrity to a C-list Magic celebrity. Did that myself. Because I got to preview a card on Twitter, which not everyone gets to do. That was sweet. And yeah, hopefully stream again next week. And yeah, next week we get to see what Hour of Devastation brings to the format, which should be great. Thank you all again, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Aw, John, you are the best. You guys all have a great night, and girls have a great night. Take care. Bye.